to Namibia Connects. On Thursday, August 22nd, we will be celebrating the 100th birthday of the late revolutionary icon Andimba Toivo, Ya Toivo. On the line now, we're joined by his widow, Vicky Ya Toivo. Very good morning to you, madam, and thank you so much for joining us on Namibia Connects.
I'm very happy to be with you.
Mr. Toivo, as we approach the 100th birthday of the late icon, what are your thoughts, in 2 days' time surrounding the person that he was and just the impact that he had on his country?
Well, that's a mouthful. Andimba was an extraordinary and, let me say, unique person in the history of our country. Not only did he dedicate his entire life to the service of his people, but Andimba was revered for a lot of reasons. One is he was considered to be a person of integrity, and he was. But perhaps the most endearing characteristics, aside from his bravery, obviously he was brave. What he did when he confronted a South African court and told the court they had no right to try Namibians was an act of bravery, since the court was going to decide whether or not to impose the death sentence. But our people understood that Andimba never saw himself above anyone. He was one of the people. He was one of them. He took great interest in any person he met. He was friendly. He was open. He was not tribalistic. He had friends across political parties. But at the end of the day, he was really, they use these terms you hear, like the son of the soil and things like this. Andimba was a man of the people. He embodied human solidarity. And this is a characteristic that I think many people appreciate and would like their leaders to emulate.
What would you say? What would you say was the reason why he was so grounded? What influenced the manner in which he related to everyday people, whether they were presidents or the everyday man or woman on the street? What was it about his upbringing that made him remain humble despite what he has achieved as an individual, and also, of course, for his country?
His father died very early in his life, so he was brought up by his mother. His mother was an extraordinary person. If you met her, you would see what a respectful person she was, and a person who really cared about people and who was believed in the importance of family and community. Now, in that latter respect, I don't think she was different. She grew up in a different time. But she was somebody who, I can say, when I came to Namibia, there may have been different people who had different opinions about Andimba's choice of a wife. She was absolutely welcoming. She embraced me and taught me a lot. And so Andimba, he embodies some of the best characteristics of the best people in our country. That's all I can say. I really think he did. And he was known to be, he was friendly. He was legitimately friendly. Now, maybe, but he was a leader. He had somebody who had a lot of political exposure, who was very determined, but he was able to inspire people because they could connect with him.
Now you and the close family and children, of course, were not the only people involved in his life. We as Namibians also took, much of his time as well. Talk to us about, having to share him with the rest of us and understanding that, look, that Andimba does not only really belong to us, but he belongs to the rest of Namibia. How did he strike that balance?
Well, it was very natural to us. I was talking to my daughter about this last night. First of all, Andimba traveled around the country a lot. Most of the times we went with him. I'm not talking about on official assignments, but we were very much a part of what he did. And we learned a lot from this because he really kept in touch with people. And so that's one thing. So we traveled with him a lot. We spent time with him in the north, but in other parts of the country. And also, as a family, we always, and I think this was unusual for him, we carved out a month over the Christmas holidays where we were a family together, wherever we went. And also I can say that whenever he was not traveling outside of Windhoek, he took quite an interest in the education of our children. My children, I mean my two daughters and the two nephews whom we raised as our sons. He attended parents' meetings to the extent possible. He looked at their homework and things like that. But he also spent a lot of time talking to these children about values, about respect, about how they should treat other people, and about the importance of education. So he wasn't, he was consistent. However he was with other people, he was consistent with us. There were times when we insisted on setting aside time. That's really, I think, what I can say.
Yeah. 100th birthday is a very big deal. What does the family plan on doing in remembering the great man?
Well, I must say that we had made another plan, which we had decided to organize an event in Ondangwa to precede Heroes Day for a lot of reasons, and we went very, very far to organize this event. Not a huge event, but an event also with family and friends. And then we had a death of a senior member of our family, and we decided we would have to not go ahead with that. And we came back to what we always do, is we go to Heroes Acre. That's what we're doing. We have invited a group of family and close friends to accompany us to Heroes Acre. Early in the morning, we'll provide some time for them to be able, we'll have a modest program, and then we'll have some time for people to sit together and talk about Andimba. There are other activities which will be organized in the next 12 months, which will be on a different character and a different scale. But this is what we are doing for his birthday on the 22nd.
All right. Auntie Vicky, thank you so much for your time, and once again for sharing those personal insights about the late great man. We highly appreciate it.
Can I add one thing?
Yes, please, go ahead.
When I said we'll be organizing other activities, we are looking at the year between this date, the 22nd, and the next 12 months as a centenary year. We decided that most of our plans should be implemented after the elections. And one of the things we will be doing is launching the foundation that Andimba established, but it's never been operationalized while he was still alive. And there are other kinds of activities, both educational, academic, and sports activities, all in keeping with who Andimba was, as well as activities involving people from interchanges of people from other countries that will take place starting in after the first of the year. So I really want to thank you. If anyone has any questions, wants to be a part of our family team Andimba going forward, they can get in touch with us.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Much obliged.
Thank you.